Hi, it's Minnie. You watching Dante Boxer Nation.
Teofimo made X-rated remarks about Turki al-Sheikh and repeatedly called Terence Crawford the N-word.
That bitch Crawford don't want to fight us because he's a bitch. I seen his legs. I seen it. I seen it.
I love you, Turkey. I want to love you so good, Turkey. Oh, did he? I hold your hand like Crawford did. We don't apologize.
But has now backtracked and put out a public apology after he wasn't happy with the terms offered by Turkey for the Haney fight. As following his performance against Barbosa last month, he was offered significantly less money for the Haney fight by Turkey. Although despite the public apology, there have been calls from fans for Teofimo not to get a chance to fight in Saudi again because he's repeatedly made racist remarks about both Gervonta Davis and Terence Crawford in recent times.
I was like, I know this is going to cause some friction. All right, well, you're a monkey to me right now. I'm sure that kept playing in Crawford's head, but yeah, man.
I'm shocked the road again. You know, I shocked it in Saudi, I shocked it in Manchester, and I'm gonna shock it again. New York in his hometown, right? I don't know this hometown, but yeah. I figure you don't have a hometown.
Shut that shit up over there, yo.
He's a mutt, bro.
Ain't nobody from any borough came at me that way. All right, now. Yeah. They love me. They respect me. Cause I respect the fuck out of everybody.
Arnold, I got another question. Arnold, I got another question for you. People know about him
over here, man.
before they've known about you.
Banana for me.
Hey, people know about him
yeah, man.
before they've known about
banana
you.
for me.
So in this image right here, you can see Eddie Hearn. He's reacting to the racist remarks that Tio just made on stage. And it's crazy because as I was looking at him, he had this little small smirk on his face, a curious look, like, wow, this guy is able to say the most racist stuff in front of all these black people, and no one is really doing anything. Man, this guy Tio is so bold. And then right after the press conference, Eddie Hearn, he starts doing interviews and he says, I love Teofimo. He said, before years back, I didn't care too much for him, but now I love the guy. I'm starting to understand him now. He's good for the sport. This is what Eddie Hearn said right after he heard Teofimo say those things on stage, as if he admires Teofimo for being able to say racist things about black people and not get checked for it. But there is somebody checking him, and that is Turki al-Sheikh.
Teofimo Lopez fumbled the bag?
How? I don't understand.
Did he, because he said he had some $11 million offer, that he was supposed to fight Devin, then it got lowered, then he went on Twitter, he was immature. What happened with the T.O. Devin Haney situation?
I want to tell you something.
Yes.
I don't go to the details with monies or something, or saying numbers, but
Right.
if you don't respect my country and my religion, you will not have any chance to do business with me.
Okay, so to follow up, does that mean that Keith Conley posted, Hitchens and Richardson Hitchens versus Teofimo? Is that a fight that you're not going to be involved in?
I will not be involved in this fight.
Okay.
Now, first of all, before I even get into Turkey talking about Teofimo Lopez, it's funny, man, when these guys are asking Turkey questions like, did Tio fumble the bag? I mean, you could talk like that to Kendrick Lamar, Gervonta Tank Davis, or maybe even Shakur Stevenson, but Turkey, he ain't gonna understand no fumble in the bag. By the way, this was an interview that Turkey did with the Boxing Voice. I really enjoy when Turkey does interviews because he is extremely transparent. And there were some good questions asked. I haven't watched the entire interview yet, but at the same time, there were a couple of cringe, awkward, wild questions, I would say. And what's crazy is Turkey, he reacted to these questions the same way I reacted to it. The same thing that I thought when I heard the question, that's the same way Turkey, he responded to the question. One of those questions that caught me off guard, and I believe it caught Turkey off guard as well, was Nestor asking him, if Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez, is Crawford looking to fight Bivol or David Benavidez after that? Because Canelo was able to do it. He said if Canelo Alvarez was able to fight a Bivol, why can't Terence Crawford? Now, we all know that Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes, but I still look at it as he's really moving up 3 weight classes because he never really got acclimated to fighting at 154. He only fought there once. And let's not forget, Crawford, he started his career at lightweight. And when I say he started his career at lightweight, he had a lot of his fights at lightweight. As a grown man, by the way, I have to put that in there because some people will say, oh, well, Canelo, he started at lightweight. He was fighting at welterweight, but that was when he was a teenager. It's not the same thing. He was still growing. Terrence Crawford was a grown man at lightweight. Let's not forget Canelo, he turned pro at the age of 15. So my point is, I think all of us knows this already. If Crawford was a natural junior middleweight or a natural middleweight, let's say he started his professional career at that weight class, he would definitely be going after David Benavidez, Bivol, Arthur Beterbiev, all of them, if he started his career at 154 15 years ago. Matter of fact, since we're looking at the dichotomy when it comes to Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, let's imagine if Crawford was in Canelo's exact same shoes, where it was Crawford that had been fighting at 168 just as long as Canelo has been fighting at 168. I think we could all agree that Terrence Crawford would be going after David Benavidez, right? Not only would Crawford fight David Benavidez, something that Canelo does not want to do, but Crawford would be the aggressor trying to make that fight because Crawford always goes after the best guys around his weight class. So you guys can watch the whole interview on the Boxing Voices channel, but Turki, he responded to that question by saying, wouldn't you rather see David Benavidez versus Bivol? Wouldn't you rather see David Benavidez versus Arthur Beterbiev? Or even move up to cruiserweight? Those fights make more sense, and that's exactly the way I was thinking. I mean, this is Floyd Mayweather all over again. After Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao, remember, Floyd was 38 years old, and you had fans that were saying he should move up to middleweight and fight against Gennady Golovkin. Now, here Terrence Crawford is. He's almost the exact same age as Floyd, and you got some people saying, but if he beats Canelo, he should fight Bivol or David Benavidez. Like I said, Turki, he kind of reacted to that question the same way I did when I heard the question. But then there was a statement that Nestor made that really caught me off guard, that was really cringe to me, something he said to Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki was talking about, once again, how he's making these fights for free. It was brought up, of course, one of the good questions that they did ask. They asked Turki about, him putting on these fights for free on DAZN. You only have to pay your membership, no more pay-per-view. He's trying to eradicate pay-per-view, which is the best news for boxing fans. But what was really weird was Nestor said to Turki, some people believe that pay-per-view is a good thing, that they rather pay pay-per-view, right? And then after he said that, he was about to go on to a different topic, and Turki was like, whoa, wait, let's go back to that. Why would anybody want to pay extra? Why would they want to pay for their subscription and then also have to pay for the fights individually? And Nestor, he was saying, well, I have fans that say these kind of things. They feel having to pay for it makes the event feel bigger. Now listen, there are some stupid fans out there that will say something like this. But I think it's unnecessary to tell Turki Al-Sheikh this, someone who is truly trying to make the sport great again. Because removing pay-per-view fights, and I'm talking about watching some of the biggest fights of the year, would be one of the biggest contributions to the sport of boxing. For any fan to say, thanks but no thanks, Turki, I would rather pay the extra money. I want to pay pay-per-view because I feel like I'm getting more of a value when it comes to watching a big fight. It feels like it's a bigger fight if I have to pay extra money for it. You know what Turki should do? He should say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have DAZN add an option on the screen to where you could either watch this fight for free or you could pay for it. And let's see how many people are going to actually choose to pay for the fight. Hey, if you do it that way, everybody is happy, even the dummies. Okay, with all that being said, man, let's get to the actual topic at hand. I was planning on getting to the topic a lot earlier than this, but like we say out here in Thailand, I was just yakking. I mean, I already showed you guys the video clip, but like I said, I was expecting to give my take on that video clip a lot earlier. So Tio has finally managed to get himself banned from the Turki Al-Sheikh train. Turkey basically said, once you disrespect my country and my religion, our relationship is over with. You on your own. Now listen, it's good to see Turkey stand up for himself. It's good to see these races deal with some form of karma, some type of consequences and repercussions. But at the same time, when Turkey says, once you diss my country and my religion, we cut you off, but we know there is nobody that has disrespected Turkey's country and religion more than Ryan Garcia has. He literally came out and said, F all N-words and Muslims. So if I was Turkey, I would have never put my hands around Ryan Garcia. If Turkey is going to say things like this, he has to be consistent. So Tio, he's taking a big L by being banned from the Turkey train. This means some of the fights that he wanted, he probably won't get. Now, on the flip side, he's still going to get fights through Eddie Hearn. I just don't think he will get the big paydays that he would get if he was fighting with Turki Al-Sheikh. And that's the price you pay. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to LODeki.com.
Like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.